Hi, Kat Chancellor here with Stamp Art Connection and StampArtConnection.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I want to demonstrate how to make a shaker card using both the Tricks and Treats and Bag of Bones bundle. I'm primarily using the Tricks and Treats to cut out my little Frankenstein, and then I'm taking some of the other die elements from our Bag of Bones bundle. I'm also using the glow-in-the-dark bats and ghosts. I have a 3D embossing folder to kind of create that neat background, and I'm also using the foam adhesive strips that you're really going to need in order to create this shaker card. I have some of these For Everything fancy sequences. They may be retired, but they came, I think there they are. There's 3 sets, 3 different colors. I thought the green worked perfectly with our green Frankenstein. By the way, that is Granny Apple Green that we're going to be Granny Apple Green cardstock. You're going to need the basic black for our base of the card. We're going to use some layering pieces, 5 1/4 by 4, and also for the inside. Then we're going to use some smoky slate, and we're going to emboss that with this 3D old world paper embossing folder to kind of give it that crackly look. Now here are some of the other dies that I used from the Bag of Bones set. They include a little dog that you can do the skeleton, the fence, and then a tombstone, and of course the sentiment in the inside, which I use with a two-tone stamping technique, which I've demonstrated in my previous card. So we're just going to go ahead and pull in all the dies that we need so we can begin to create our card. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to begin with pulling in some Granny Apple Green. You're going to place that in a whatever kind of a stamparatus or any kind of stamping platform you have, and go ahead and stamp your image. And I like to use my stamping platform because I can make sure that I get a nice clear black image on my cardstock. So now that we have that piece, we're going to go ahead and pull in our smoky slate, then align our die where we want our shaker card, kind of our shaker opening, to be on our smoky slate. We're going to run that through our die and emboss machine, and then we're going to simply run that with our 3D embossing folder, but we're going to add some ink on the front of the 3D embossing folder, and you can tell the front by simply looking at the Stampin' Up! Logo that is on the top of the folder, and run that through, and you get this really nice kind of creaky, spooky effect for the front of our card. And it just the smoky slate ink kind of just fills it in. Then we're just going to basically align and make sure that we have the opening, and I would recommend that you go ahead and I should have used the pencil to line the outside of my Frankenstein face, because I will need that in order to know where to place my foam adhesive strips. However, I do have a template on the side that I'm going to use, so I would recommend doing that before you put your window sheet on. And I use just simply some tear tape around the back of my top layer, and I like to kind of take off a slot piece and then lay another piece over it so that my adhesive strips from my tear tape kind of overlap and I have really good coverage. And then I put my window sheet on and go ahead and trim off the extra piece. I take a piece of alcohol just to go ahead and clean the inside of my window sheet before I put that on top of my card when I have all my little shaker elements in there. It kind of keeps that you have kind of like no grease or static. So that's just a tip. Now I'm just using kind of a little edger, and I'm just kind of roughing up the edge. Now the other option you could do here is you could use your deckled rectangles if you want kind of a more spooky type of edge, and you wouldn't have to worry with kind of roughing it up. Now I am kind of trimming now the kind of trimming the edges to make sure they are within inside of our smoky slates piece. Now see, here is a template I'm using just to outline the outside of my Frankenstein face so that I make sure I know where to put my foam adhesive strips for that are going to create kind of like the inside of our shaker card. I'm very generous with them, kind of bend them, and I make sure that they are very closely, kind of push them together. I have several videos on shaker cards that kind of explain how to put them together. If you want to refer, I'll have some links. Then I just kind of erase those, and here I kind of made a mistake, and I kind of got it wrong, but I'm just going to very gently kind of take this off. And I left this in the video because it's been a while since I've made a shaker card, so I just kind of wanted to show that, you know, you may have to kind of couple of tries to kind of get it together, but eventually, you know, it turns out well. Now, I do have to say for this particular shaker card, I went a little overboard on the glitter or the shaker elements. You don't really need that many. I wouldn't recommend putting in as many because you do want to see the face of your Frankenstein. I've got some of them that kind of popped over onto my adhesive strip, and I'm just kind of using my knife there, my X-Acto knife, to kind of knock them back. Now I'm kind of wiping, and you see my big head in there because I just want to make sure I get it over the face of my Santa Claus, my Frankenstein, sorry. Wrong holiday. Okay, so there you go. A little bit too many shaker elements in there, but it's all good. So now that I have built my shaker card, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp my sentiment, which is Trick or Treat, but instead of using the die that came with the Tricks or Treat bundle, I'm going to use Tombstone die from the Bag of Bones. I'm just taking a little bit of that smoky slate, and I'm just going to kind of sponge daub the edge just to kind of give it a little bit more dimension, and that's going to go on the front. Then I'm going to grab some black cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and cut my fence. And I have a dog that's already cut out, and my secret here is I emboss the dog with some glow in the dark embossing powder. And you can see here I'm going to cut not only a basic black fence, but I'm also going to cut a fence out of the glow in the dark paper. There it is there, because I really don't know which way I want to go on this, but I will show you another project later on where I do use this element. So I'm just going to go ahead and let you keep on watching as the card comes together. So there you have it, a lovely shaker card in just a few easy steps. If you haven't already, please hit like. All products are available in my online store. I'll provide a link below, and you can go to my blog for all of the product details. If you're looking for a demo, please consider joining my team, or you can join as a hobbyist for $99 and enjoy a 20% discount. If you are a demo, please support my channel by hitting like, share, and leave a comment. This is Kat Chancellor with Stamp Art Connection and StampArtConnection.com. Happy stamping. Shut the back door. I had to get on. Right after I finished filming this video, I discovered a really cool feature of this glow-in-the-dark specialty paper. Right here you can see I have this little dog that I had originally put on the card that was embossed using glow-in-the-dark embossing powder, but I found an even better alternative. The glow-in-the-dark specialty designer series paper 6x6 that comes with this set is stampable using StazOn ink. It is absolutely fantastic. In fact, here are my little skeleton and the little cat, and then I went ahead and I put the dog on my card. Well, not only that, but then I was playing around with the idea, if I can stamp, then I can stamp the background much like I did with my featured card using the glow-in-the-dark paper and my little Frankenstein face. And there you go. This glows in the dark. The little ghosts coming up from my trick-or-treat cemetery stone glow in the dark, and then my little dog glows in the dark. So I wanted to stop the video, and before I let you go, I needed to show you this fantastic feature of the glow-in-the-dark paper that you need to right now put in an order, since the catalog is now live, using StazOn ink. And let me give you an itty-bitty little hint. Here's the hint. When you have if you're not using a stamping platform, what you can do is you can use a permanent marker, Skillcraft, whatever kind of permanent marker you have, to kind of fill in any of the pieces that may be showing through as a result of your stamping with your StazOn ink. Fantastic. So check out my cards. I will have the card and the card as it looks like in the glow in the dark on my blog. Thank you so much. Kat Chancellor, Stamp Art Connection, stampartconnection.com. Happy stamping.